This gun actually uses fleas as bullets, powered by human breath. The most terrifying part is that after being hit by these bullets, the wound will bleed nonstop. Killua was hit once while moving at high speed. However, when he looked at the bullet in his hand, he was struck again in the neck. He tried hard, but Killua had no idea what direction the bullets were coming from. At this moment, a sniper 10,000 meters away was leisurely singing. Then another shot hit Killua's left foot. Both wounds were bleeding continuously. What Killua didn't know was, the distant enemy had started charging up again. As the man inhaled, the air sac on his back kept expanding. Once fully charged, another shot was fired, directly hitting Killua's right hand. However, these consecutive shots failed to hit any vital points. At this point, Killua realized the opponent didn't seem to intend to kill him right away. He might still want to extract some intelligence from him. Just then, the assassin extracted another bullet from his body. A single flea can jump a terrifying distance of 200 meters. Using it as a bullet is absolutely the perfect choice. Then the man took another deep breath and pulled the trigger. But this shot was actually dodged by Killua. The reason the man's marksmanship was so accurate was entirely because the dragonfly in the sky was navigating for him. That's how he could precisely pinpoint Killua's location. Because the dragonflies he sent out were like countless cameras, monitoring the enemy from all angles with no blind spots. Although Killua could dodge the bullet attacks with high-speed movement, that would also consume a lot of stamina. But soon Killua thought of a countermeasure. He wrapped his entire body with a large amount of nun, facing the bullet shot by the flea man again. This time Killua seemed to enter a completely static state, as the bullet slowly approached that extremely short distance of 57 centimeters. With his reflexes, he could actually dodge it perfectly. But this time he didn't dodge. Instead, at the instant before the bullet made contact, he precisely determined the sniper's position through the bullet's trajectory. Then Killua quickly rushed toward the sniper's position. The dragonfly immediately relayed this intelligence to the sniper. But the flea man wasn't worried at all, because his flea bullets secrete a paralyzing toxin. Not only does it inhibit blood coagulation, it also makes the target lose mobility for a short time. If Killua gets hit one more time, he'll die on the spot. At this moment, Killua also spotted the flea man. Without any hesitation, he immediately gave chase, until at a strange cave entrance. The man stopped and said he had set traps inside, taunting Killua about whether he dared to follow, then jumped straight down. But the next second, Killua's fingers pierced into his brain. However, just when Killua thought the opponent was finished, a large number of octopus tentacles extended from the man's mouth, tightly wrapping around Killua's body. Even in death, he would drag Killua down with him. A swarm of chimera ant soldiers rushed in, quickly surrounding them both. However, just when they thought Killua was finished, they didn't expect that in the second before falling into the lake. Killua used the octopus tentacles to firmly attach himself to the wall. Realizing something was wrong, the octopus immediately started to escape, but his speed was still too slow. In the blink of an eye, Killua caught up. But Killua didn't plan to kill him directly. He offered to spare his life in exchange for information about the army. But surprisingly, the seemingly cowardly octopus guy said he would never betray his comrades, then immediately severed his own tentacles and headed toward the center, just as he was about to be devoured by piranhas. At the critical moment, Killua saved him with his yo-yos. If they hadn't met as enemies, they might have become friends. Then Killua threw the shark toward the shore, but was himself bitten by the shark. This unexpected turn of events left the octopus guy confused. He couldn't understand why someone would sacrifice themselves for him. At this time, there was an inquiry through the dragonfly. For the first time, the octopus guy chose to conceal Killua's information. It seems even among bad guys, there are good people. Killua then easily dealt with the shark. Although he successfully resolved the crisis, Killua was completely unaware that an enemy had already placed a tracking badge on him. Killua, who had dodged to the side, was about to leave, when his brother's voice suddenly echoed in his mind. Under Killua's incredulous gaze, a swordfish viciously pierced through his palm.